This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever think about switching insurance companies to see if you could save some cash? Progressive makes it easy. Just drop in some details about yourself and see if you're eligible to save money when you bundle your home and auto policies. The process only takes minutes, and it could mean hundreds more in your pocket. Visit Progressive.com after this episode to see if you could save. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states.
We are your Morning X. Shots still to get qualified to go to Vegas. The When We Were Young Fest. You're going to see Weezer, Yellow Card. A bunch of bands will be there. We've got a great trip to Vegas all set for you. Just listen. We'll tell you when to call. We already did it once today in the 6 o'clock hour for the early birds, but another shot is coming. Right now, Celebrity Sleaze brought to you by McDonald's. Archways to Opportunity helps employees achieve their dreams. You want to learn more, just head to McDonald's.com.
This is a documentary dropping today on Hulu. Alex Cooper from Call Her Daddy breaking down in tears as she accuses her college soccer coach of sexual harassment. Her former coach, Nancy Feldman. She said that she was sexually harassed from 2013 to 15. Here's a quote. It was all based in her wanting to know who I was dating, her making comments about my body, and her always wanting to be alone with me. She accuses her in this brand new documentary, again, coming out today on Hulu.
I experienced something extremely painful.
It was all taken away from me.
It ignited this desperate rush to find my new purpose.
Call her daddy.
Podcasting at that time was a male-dominated field.
They were talking about sex in a way that was so alpha male.
It was the biggest show in the world, but the whole thing broke down.
The podcast changed as Alex has changed.
She was attending BU on a full-time scholarship, and she said, if I didn't follow this woman's rules, I was gone. So that's why she didn't speak out about this it's been 10 years.
BU as in Baylor? Which BU?
Boston University.
Boston.
Sorry about that.
Got
yeah,
it.
Boston University. And, the coach would say things like, tell me about your sex life. Get in the car. I'll drive you to class alone. Really disturbing. Of course, Boston University athletics officials who allegedly did not take action after she and her parents provided written documentation of this inappropriate actions. They have not commented. But what do you think they think about this now? Wow. They didn't fire this coach.
Wow.
Apparently, she later retired in 2022. Cooper didn't play soccer her senior year, but she did keep her scholarship taken away from her.
Yeah, with this thing coming out on Hulu today, I think if she was still there, it might be night-night.
I talked about this a couple of months ago. Whoopi Goldberg has started an all-women's sports network, a global sports TV network dedicated to women's sports, of course, co-founded by Whoopi and Jungo TV. It's going to be airing on Pluto TV. They unveiled a global content partnership this past Monday. That's crazy.
What kind of weird branding is that?
I mean, we're talking women's sports, everything from golf to basketball to, every sport imaginable. Good for her. I didn't realize that she was so into this.
Is she going to be the face of it, or is it just going to be...
I don't think she's going to be the face of it. I think she just wanted to do this. Far too long, incredible women athletes have been competing at the highest level without the recognition that they deserve. And so this is a platform that turns visibility into opportunity. We've been talking about the success of Ryan Coogler's Sinners. I had to do it. Spent the $20 to watch it at home. It is so good, and it's really hard to even describe, but I will say Michael B. Jordan plays a dual role, which he's incredible in. And there was a scene in the movie that, right in the middle of the movie, I had to put it on pause and actually Google this one scene in this juke joint. It's pretty brilliant. I want you to watch the movie. Let me know what you think, but if you haven't been to the theater or you haven't watched it at home, I'm saying, this movie is great.
But see, that's what I want to... I want to go to the theater, but I want to know, why is everyone saying the same thing you're saying? You didn't really tell me why it's so great. What is great?
Well, I've never seen anything like this before, okay? Yes, it's about vampires and stuff, but I've never seen a movie like this before that incorporates music and different styles of music into this one crazy scene in this juke joint. And I will have to say, I was like, because I'd never seen anything like this, going into it, I was like, oh man, is this going to be about vampires, blah, blah, blah. No, it's a really well done movie.
All right, I'm in. I want to see it.
I know. It literally is so hard to describe, but I want you to watch it and let me know what you think. Who do you think is the hardest working woman in showbiz? We've talked about this so much.
Hardest working woman, is it Reese Witherspoon?
Nicole Kidman.
Oh, yeah, she does work a lot.
Here's a new one. Girls and Their Horses, a murder mystery set in the beachside equestrian community of Rancho Santa Fe, California, following the newly wealthy Parker family, it's always a wealthy family, as they aim to position their teenage daughters in the rarefied, sometimes deadly world of competitive horse racing. There you go, on Amazon. But think about everything else she's been in. The Perfect Couple, remember Big Little Lies.
Too much,
Top
actually.
of the Lake, The Undoing, 9 Perfect Strangers, Lioness, Expats, not to even mention all her movies.
But at some point, do those people stop paying her? I mean, she's so overexposed. Is it even a hook anymore?
I think, listen, I love her as an actress. I think she's amazing. I do think, though, that a lot of these shows are now starting to blend together as far as the themes of these shows. You know, like The White Lotus, 9 Perfect Strangers. They're all like they have the same theme going.
Well, a lot of them copy.
If it works, you know.
Well, but does it? Like, it's so watered down now with so many shows. I would think having that actress or any actress across multiple platforms in a similar show, it just gets like the fatigue is there.
It's crazy.
Okay, you have your wine glass, you get naked, someone died. Okay, we're all confused. We don't know what we're watching.
Remember the other day I said I thought that Kristen Cavallari is just like wanting attention all the time?
Yeah.
Are you ready for this one? Now this is the whole thing about did she dry hump Glenn Powell? I'm like, really? She was on with Andy Cohen. I guess maybe she answered the question.
Kristen, you did say on your new hit E! show on tonight's episode that you and Glenn Powell dry humped.
Did I say that?
Yeah, you did.
Oh.
Yeah, it's in the episode. It's in the episode. So then I would have to surmise that you know what kind of
maybe we didn't
kisser he is. We only dry hump. Right, we only dry hump.
Possible.
Wow. On a scale of 1 to 10, how good of a dry humper is he?
Were there jeans involved?
Jeans where I was, well, yes. I'm not saying too much because pants were involved.
You know she loves that, and you know he hates it.
He's got to be going, did you really just say that?
That's her whole thing is that.
Her whole MO, I know. There's 2 crazy TSA stories I wanted to tell you about. One was Ellen Pompey. Did you see this back in March?
No.
Where she got detained for over an hour because of a bag of organic sunflower seeds. Yeah, her little snack. She got detained. Apparently, there was a suspicious chemical detected on the packaging. So there was like heightened security. Apparently, she's like, I'll throw it away. They didn't want her to. Yeah, they detained her for over an hour. Something suspicious in the packaging of these organic sunflower seeds. And here's another really funny story. Benicio del Toro, you know, he's in that new movie, The Phoenician Scheme. He got detained by 5 TSA agents at the airport because of the contents of his bag.
The TSA people, they just said, hey, we need to check your bag. Sure. Opens the bag. He looks into it. And I take my scripts and I make the headings bigger, you know, so I can get to it really quick. And the opening scene is interior airplane bomb. The second scene is interior cockpit, eject the pilot. And the third scene is crash. No. And the guy I'm looking at it, he's reading it, and I go, it's a film script. It's a film script. Yeah. And he looks at me and he goes, and he closes the thing and he walks out, and 5 TSA guys come over and they hover around the script and they're looking at it and they're looking at it. And then finally the supervisor showed up. He had a tie and he just walked in and he looked at me and I think he recognized me maybe from Sicario or Traffic. Yeah. And, you know, he just sat there, he looked at it and they let me go. But you know what? I gave that guy a thumbs up because he was paying attention.
Yeah, I mean, kudos to him. But dude, blows up the fonts on his scripts. Yeah, that's not the script to be taken with you.
That is your Celebrity Sleaze.
Former U.S. Navy SEAL Sean Ryan captures real stories about sacrifice and strength.
We go into this hooch searching for Christ knows what.
Regardless if anybody else does it, will you do it?
There's a lot of things that are hurtful and disturbing.
Can't get anybody to talk about it.
Uncovering truth with the heroes who live to tell it.
There's a saying, there's no atheist in a foxhole.
That was the hardest part for you coming home.
What?
How'd you get through it?
I worked hard.
The Sean Ryan Show.
You ready?
Let's do it.
All right, let's go.
Follow and listen on your favorite platform.